There's a beautiful story about a monk who decided to meditate alone. He wanted to find a place of absolute quiet, a place where he could finally be at peace and focus his mind without any distractions. So, he took his small boat out to the middle of a vast, still lake. He closed his eyes, settled into his posture, and began to breathe. For hours, he sat in perfect silence, feeling a deep sense of tranquility wash over him. He felt he had finally escaped the noise of the world and could truly connect with his inner self. Suddenly he felt a sharp jolt. Another boat had bumped into his. His eyes flew open. A wave of anger surged through him. Who would be so careless? Who would dare to disturb his peace in this remote place? He turned, ready to shout at the person in the other boat. But when he looked, the other boat was empty. There was no one there. It had simply drifted with the current and bumped into his. In that moment, the monk had a profound realization. The anger wasn't in the other boat, it was inside him. That empty boat teaches us a powerful lesson. So often we believe that our anger, our frustration, and our stress come from external sources. We blame our boss, our partner, the traffic, or the person who cut us in line. We point our fingers at the world, convinced our problems are out there. The true challenge is realizing that we are the source of our own reactions. What if we became the masters of our own responses? Before he was the Buddha, the awakened one, he was a prince named Siddhartha Gautama. He lived a life of unimaginable luxury, shielded from all the world's suffering. His father, the king, wanted to protect him from any sight of pain, old age, death. Siddhartha grew up in a palace filled with every pleasure imaginable. Fine silks, delicious foods, beautiful music, lush gardens. He had a loving wife, a healthy son. By all external measures, he had everything anyone could ever want. He was living the dream that so many of us chase today, a life of comfort, security, endless pleasure. But despite having everything, Siddhartha felt a deep, gnawing emptiness inside. He felt that something was missing, that there was a deeper truth to life that he was not seeing. This feeling of discontent grew stronger and stronger until he could no longer ignore it. He knew he had to see the world outside the palace walls. So against his father's wishes, he ventured out into the city. On these trips he encountered what are known as the four sights: an old man, a sick person, a dead body, a wandering ascetic. These sights shook him to his core. For the first time he understood the reality of human suffering. He saw that old age, sickness, death are inevitable parts of life. No amount of wealth or luxury could protect him from them. At the age of 29, Siddhartha made a radical choice. He left his palace, his family, his royal life behind. He traded his fine robes for the simple cloth of a monk and set out on a spiritual journey. He studied with the wisest teachers, practiced extreme self-denial, pushed his body and mind to their limits. This was the beginning of his path to enlightenment, a path that would ultimately transform not just his own life, but the lives of millions. Buddha's teachings offer a revolutionary idea about happiness. In our modern world, we are often taught that happiness comes from getting what we want. We chase success, wealth, relationships, experiences, believing that these external things will finally make us feel complete. We operate on a model of if-then happiness. If I get that promotion, then I'll be happy. If I find the perfect partner, then I'll be happy. If I can just go on that vacation, then I'll be happy. We spend our lives running on a treadmill, constantly striving for the next thing that we believe will bring us joy. But Buddha taught that this approach is a recipe for dissatisfaction. Why? Because everything in the external world is impermanent, everything changes. The promotion loses its shine, relationships face challenges, and the vacation ends. If our happiness depends on things that are constantly changing, our happiness will also be unstable and fleeting. We become like a boat tossed around on the waves of life, our inner peace rising and falling with every external event. This constant cycle of craving, temporary satisfaction, and renewed craving is what Buddha identified as a primary source of our suffering. The path Buddha laid out is a radical shift in perspective. He taught that true, lasting happiness doesn't come from getting what you want, but from transforming your mind. It's not about changing the world outside of you, but about changing the world inside of you. This is a profound and empowering message. It means that you don't have to wait for your circumstances to be perfect to find peace. You have the power to cultivate happiness right here, right now, regardless of what is happening in your life. One of the most powerful and often misunderstood concepts from Buddha's teachings, karma. A lot of people think of karma as a cosmic system of reward and punishment, like there's some divine judge keeping a scoreboard of our good and bad deeds. But honestly, this isn't quite right. The word karma literally means action. It's a natural law, just like gravity. It's not about punishment, it's about cause and effect. So think of your mind as a garden. Every thought, word, action is a seed you plant. If you plant seeds of anger, jealousy, greed, you'll end up harvesting a garden full of thorny weeds and bitter fruit. Your life will be filled with conflict, dissatisfaction, suffering. You can't plant a tomato seed and expect a cucumber to grow. In the same way, you can't act with hatred and expect to receive love and peace in return. The results you get in life are directly related to the seeds you are planting every single day, with every single choice you make. Conversely, if you consciously choose to plant seeds of kindness, compassion, generosity, understanding, your garden will flourish. You'll harvest beautiful flowers and nourishing fruit. Your life will be filled with peace, connection, and joy. This is the empowering aspect of karma. It means that you are the gardener of your own life. You have the power to choose what seeds you plant. The future isn't some predetermined fate that is happening to you, it's a garden that you are actively creating with your present actions. This understanding of karma frees us from blame and victimhood. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? What seeds can I plant now to create a different future? It's also important to note that Buddha's concept of karma is not tied to a belief in God. It's a natural law of the universe that operates whether you believe in a deity or not. In our modern world, our attention is the most valuable commodity. We are constantly bombarded with notifications, emails, headlines, advertisements, all competing for a slice of our focus. We live in a state of, well, perpetual distraction, our minds constantly jumping from the past to the future. We worry about what we need to do tomorrow while regretting something we did yesterday. We check our phones while talking to a loved one. We are physically present in one place, but our minds are 1,000 miles away. We are rarely ever fully here, in the present moment. Buddha recognized this human tendency over 2,500 years ago. He taught that much of our suffering comes from our mind's inability to stay in the present. When we dwell on the past, we often experience regret or sadness. When we worry about the future, we create anxiety and fear. The only place where we can find true peace and experience life directly is in the here and now. This is the core of mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment, on purpose, without judgment. It's about bringing our full awareness to whatever we are doing. Drinking a cup of tea, walking, listening to a friend. How can we practice this? It starts with the breath. Your breath is your anchor to the present moment. It's always with you, always happening right now. You can try this right now. Just take a moment to notice the sensation of your breath. Feel the air entering your nostrils, filling your lungs, and then leaving your body. You don't need to change it or control it. Just observe it. And when your mind wanders away, and trust me, it will, gently and kindly guide it back to your breath. Each time you do this, you are strengthening your mindfulness muscle. It is a simple but profound act of training your attention. Mindfulness is the key to stepping off the autopilot of our busy lives and truly starting to live. At the heart of Buddha's teachings are the Four Noble Truths. These aren't commandments to accept on faith. Think of them like a doctor's diagnosis and prescription, a practical framework for understanding suffering. Practical, logical, based on direct observation, a clear, compassionate roadmap. Anyone can follow it. The first noble truth, the truth of suffering, dukkha. This may sound pessimistic, but it's a compassionate realism. Life inherently involves dissatisfaction and stress, sickness, old age, loss, plus a subtle unease, the sense something's missing. The second noble truth, the cause of suffering. Buddha named it craving and attachment, tanha. We cling to what we want, pleasure, success, things to stay the same. We push away what we don't want, pain, failure, change. This cycle of wanting and not wanting creates suffering. It's our resistance to reality. The third noble truth, the end of suffering. This is the good news. Suffering can end, liberation, nirvana, by extinguishing craving, attachment, and ignorance. Realizing happiness doesn't depend on external conditions. Engage life fully, without desperate clinging. The fourth noble truth, the path out of suffering. The Noble Eightfold Path guides us, ethical conduct, mental discipline, wisdom, the promise of freedom, to find greater peace and understanding. The wisdom of the Buddha is not something ancient and dusty locked away in old texts. It is a living, breathing guide for our modern lives. It speaks to the challenges we all face today, the stress, the distraction, the search for meaning, and the desire for happiness. The teachings are not about becoming someone else, they are about discovering the wise and compassionate person you already are. They are about waking up to your own potential for peace and purpose. You don't need to become a monk or move to a monastery. You can practice this wisdom right where you are in the middle of your busy life. Start small. You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. Choose one simple practice. Maybe it's taking 5 conscious breaths before you get out of bed in the morning. Maybe it's trying to listen fully to the next person you speak with, without interrupting or planning your reply. Maybe it's noticing one beautiful thing on your way to work. These small acts of mindfulness and intention are the seeds of transformation. They are the small hinges that swing big doors. Remember the law of the garden. Every seed of positive action you plant will grow. Remember the story of the empty boat. The next time you feel a surge of anger or frustration, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, is this anger in the external situation, or is it inside me? Can I choose a different response? This simple pause creates a space between the trigger and your reaction. In that space lies your power and your freedom. This is the practice of taking responsibility for your own inner state. It is the path to emotional mastery, a journey from being a victim of your circumstances to being the creator of your experience. Your journey to a more peaceful, purposeful, and happy life doesn't have to start tomorrow or next week. It can start right now, in this very moment. The path is not about perfection, it is about intention. Unlock the wisdom that already exists within you. Your transformation, your peace, and your purpose are waiting. Your path begins now.